My babysitter got arrested at my house. Trust me when I say this, it made no sense why she got arrested, but I remember panicking and it was just not it. Yo, what is going on, you guys? My name is Bubba and welcome back to an insane story. So today's story all takes place back when I was in middle school, and funny enough, this was back when I was actually in grade 6. Yeah, in grade 6, I was just starting middle school and I didn't really pull girls at this time. I was more known for just playing video games and sitting in my room and, well, just learning how to beat my eggplant. But honestly, trust me when I say this, I was hitting puberty. And I remember back when I was in grade 6, one thing I found really cool was girls that were more in the darker side of things. I think many people understand the term bad girls and how they like bad girls. And I remember me back when I was in grade 6, I thought bad girls were cool. Like, for example, girls that would, yell on Call of Duty and, be basically swearing at other people. I found that kind of attractive. I don't know why. Maybe I was just being a weird kid back then, but I don't know. It's just something that was a part of me, I guess. I remember one time back when I was in grade 6, I was heading home from school and I was actually heading home with a group of friends. Now, me and my group of friends, we were all, massive gamers. We all really didn't focus on girls at the time. So I remember all of us, we'd actually decided to head over back to my place and basically all play a new game that released on the Wii U. If you guys don't know, the Wii U was released back when I was in grade 6, and honestly, everyone loved it. And I remember, especially me, being in grade 6, I thought the Wii U was something insane. Obviously, now it's considered one of the worst consoles ever, but I remember there was one game on there that a lot of us all played, and it was Smash Bros. And me and my friends, we loved playing Smash Bros. I know that sounds weird for me saying Smash Bros in the same sentence and not making it sus, but at the same time, just hear me out. Anyways, I remember when we all walked through my front door and went straight to my Wii U to play Smash Brothers, my mom ended up coming up to me and saying, "Bubba, can I pull you aside for a second?" Yeah, mom, what's up? "Bubba, me and your dad are leaving for a bit. What time are your friends planning on leaving?" They're probably gonna leave like an hour or two. We're just gonna play a couple rounds." "Why?" "Okay, well, after they leave, your babysitter's gonna be here right away, and we're leaving right now." "Wait, why are you guys leaving right now? Is it an emergency?" "Yes, it's a big emergency, and we just need to leave." At this time, I guess some family stuff was going on, and my parents, since I was really young, they didn't want me to get familiar with it, because obviously they just want me to be a happy kid like usual. And I remember I ended up going up to my friends saying how they had to leave a bit sooner and all this stuff, and basically after like the 1 hour mark of us playing games, we hear a doorbell ring. Now, when we heard this doorbell ring, me and all the guys, we all ended up basically thinking it was one of the parents, so we all headed straight for the door to basically get my friends picked up and head home. But right as we answer the door, I am not joking when I say this, we see a girl in all black looking like a goth girl basically walk into my house. Now, all my friends were ultimately terrified, but me, I'm not gonna lie to you, I found her somewhat hot. I don't know why. It was really weird for me to think that, but at the same time, like I said earlier, I think I had like a thing for bad girls back then. And going on with the story, I remember basically she walked in and said, "Okay, the parents said there was only supposed to be one kid here. Why are there like 5 of you?" "Oh, I'm the kid you're supposed to be taken care of. Sorry, my friends were just over. Tell them to leave right now." I remember when she said that, all my friends just instantly headed for the door. And I'm not gonna lie to you, this new babysitter was becoming the boss of the house. Me, at this time, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't want to disobey her because this girl looked like she would actually punch a child. Like, I am not joking when I say this. I should not be saying this. YouTube, don't demonetize this when I say this. But this girl looks like she would harm children. So I remember I started kind of like panicking and all my friends left, and me, I instantly went upstairs and basically started hiding in my bedroom because I didn't know what this babysitter was gonna do to me. She was terrifying. But obviously this babysitter ended up actually coming up the stairs and looking at me saying, "Why are you hiding? Come downstairs right now. I'm just gonna feed you something real quick, you little rat." "Rat? Little rat? Wait, just because I'm hiding under my bed, it doesn't make me a rat," is what I told her afterwards. And yeah, no, she didn't like that. She ended up grabbing me by the wrist and actually dragging me downstairs and made me sit in the kitchen table and basically made me wait as she was making the dinner for me. It blew my mind how some people, even though they really hate children, want to be babysitters. Like, are you that desperate for money that you want to take care of me and treat me like garbage but still take my parents' money? So I ultimately start panicking and I start worrying, and honestly, the more and more I stressed out, I didn't know what in the world was going on. Anyways, I remember basically this babysitter ended up feeding me, and I will say this, she ended up sitting down right in front of me, and all she did was go on her phone. She went on her phone and stuff, and then she ended up getting a phone call. Now, I'm gonna say this, when your ringtone is something from AC/DC, especially TNT, it's actually kind of terrifying. But basically, I remember this babysitter got a phone call, and out of nowhere, she ended up getting up and basically walking away saying, "Yeah, are you like bringing the stash here? Like, hurry up." Now, when she said stash, the only stash I've ever heard of back when I was in grade 6 was either pubic stash or mustache. So the fact that she said stash made me worry because I didn't know what that was. And I think I've played enough Call of Duty to understand that stashes are usually not a good thing unless it's ammo for a reload. So I started panicking, and at the same time, I really wanted to get a hold of my parents. I remember remember I ended up basically leaving the dinner table as she was away from the table as well on the phone call, and I started heading upstairs to my bedroom. When I got there, I instantly pulled out my iPad and I basically started like, trying to message my mom over iMessage. But right away, right as I was on my iPad messaging my mom, this babysitter ends up walking in saying, "Where'd you go? Why'd you leave like that? Who do you think you are?" I'm just, texting my friends. She grabs my iPad and sees that the top of the message board was mommy, and she says, "Baba, you're not supposed to text your mom. I'm supposed to be taking care of you. I'm supposed to be your new mother. What are you on?" Honestly, this girl did not seem like anything smart or safe whatsoever for, well, a babysitter. But that's not even where things get worse, because I remember what happens next, I gotta say, was super illegal. Because I remember I ended up heading downstairs, and out of nowhere, I ended up hearing someone pull up to my driveway right as I went down the steps. I ended up kind of like trying to figure out and look through the front door window to see who it was. But out of nowhere, I remember my babysitter ends up grabbing me by the neck and looks at me and says, "Baba, I'm gonna actually need you to go back upstairs to your room. You want me to go to my room again? Yeah, just go up to your room for like 5 minutes. Trust me, it won't be anything." I ended up going upstairs, and right away, I ended up seeing from my front window of my bedroom that someone was in like a really like black scary car that was like all tinted out. And basically a person came out that had like tattoos all over his arms. He wasn't like jacked or anything. He was just a skinny guy with tattoos. Ended up walking up to my front of my house and dropping something off and leaving right away. I started panicking, thinking, yo, what is going on in my house right now? Like, where did my parents get this babysitter? And then that's when it happened. I remember the babysitter ended up calling me downstairs saying, "Baba, come down right now, you little rat." And I ended up heading downstairs, and when I got there, she was holding a bag of sugar. I'm not gonna say exactly what, because YouTube monetization, but if you guys don't know what the devil's sugar is, then you're probably too young to be watching this channel. I remember from there, I basically ended up like, following her around the house and stuff, and she ended up taking this bag to a bathroom, and then she ended up coming out with the bag being gone. At this point, I went to the bathroom right after her, and I saw that my bathroom counter, well, I'm gonna say this, it was a little dirty with some white stuff on it that let's just say, don't want to get into because YouTube monetization, but let's just say, yes, there was some sort of substance in my house. Now, I didn't know anything about, substances and all the bad stuff back when I was a kid, but out of nowhere, I remember watching my babysitter, and she seemed like she was more energized than she usually was, and she had a bigger smile on her face for some reason. I found this very odd and stuff, but honestly, I just kind of like decided just to obey her because I didn't know what was going to happen. At this point, I felt super unsafe in my own house, and no kid should ever have to feel like that. Going on with the story, I remember right after that whole situation happened, I ended up sitting down in my living room, and me and her, we actually ended up watching a movie together. Obviously, I wanted to watch some action movie that was super cool, probably like James Bond or something, but she wanted to watch a horror movie. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. In my house, we were not allowed to watch horror movies, but the fact that this girl wanted to, my babysitter, my mind was blown. I remember me and her were watching this movie together, and we were watching this horror movie, and out of nowhere, the most craziest thing happened where I ended up hearing a hard knock on the door. Like, it sounded like a very serious knock that only an angry person would. And me at this time, I started getting terrified because one, I just watched a horror movie about a bunch of people getting like, murdered in a house. And two, I was thinking that probably the guy that was here earlier, the big, scary, tall, Slenderman, tattooed looking dude, was going to come and basically was going to, break in my house. So I started panicking even more, and I started actually running upstairs and hiding into my bedroom. And right as you know it, I ended up hearing cop sirens turn on right as they were knocking. Now, I recognize cop sirens from anywhere. Back when I was a kid, I played Grand Theft Auto 5. So instantly at that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm safe. The police are here. I ended up opening my front door, and when I opened it, I saw cops swarming in, and all of them I thought were after me. So I put my hands up and went on my knees right away. And the only reason I went on my knees was because in Grand Theft Auto, they always tell you to go on your knees. But they ended up all passing me and looking at me really weirdly, and ended up arresting my babysitter. I have no idea why. I was so weirded out and trying to figure out what was going on, but my babysitter got arrested and basically ended up getting escorted out of the house. And I remember one of the cops came up to me and asked, "Hey son, where's your parents at?" "My parents aren't here. They left me with the babysitter that's in handcuffs right now." "Well, your babysitter's done some very bad things, making deals of bad things. So either you call a parent that can come take care of you, or we will drop you off anywhere you like." When they said drop me off wherever I liked, I ended up driving over to my friend's house and explaining to his parents the whole situation. And yeah, let's just say my parents got a big talking to about hiring the right babysitter, but at the same time, what can I say? My babysitter literally got arrested. Like, what was I supposed to do? Honestly, the only thing I was supposed to do at that time, I feel like, was fall for more embarrassing stories just like this one. Peace out, guys.